Halfway up a mountain, you hope to glimpse the peak, a momentary vision of the goal ahead. With rejuvenated energy, you resolve to see the summit. So it is in week 3 of AU Pro Volleyball. The championship is just off in the distance, and the summit push must begin. Tonight, 4 teams hit the checkpoint and work towards base camp number 4. The final steps of week 3 are trodden right now. A look at our leaderboard as we enter the final evening of play. Brittany Abercrombie, Betania de la Cruz Mejia are running away together to fight it out at the top of the leaderboard. However, 6 players are all going to have their fate determined tonight as to whether they sit in a captain's chair tomorrow and draft their own team for the next week of play. Welcome inside, everybody. Kevin Barnett once again back with Olympian Key. Michael, here we go. Key 2 0-2 teams on the weekend, but we've had very close action, and you like a lot of what you've seen.
I always love what I see from Athletes Unlimited, but this is anybody's match to take, particularly on the blue side on Lecator's team. Her setter in particular, Marley Monserrat, has finally unleashed that power of the pin. So if they can rinse and repeat that formula, minus the 9 service errors, I think they're good to go here tonight.
Okay, we're going to look to the pins for some key performers. Brooke Nuneviller first off the board for this team in this week. She has to be big tonight.
Well, she has started to establish herself as the right-hand woman to Danny Drews. She's relied on not only for that arm, but also as a former libero. She is a core part of the defense. She was the top scorer last night, but she's still performing well below the numbers we saw from her in week 1. And I think a good performance tonight could be the key ingredient to help her captain finally get that win she's been searching for 2 seasons straight as a captain.
Brooke is on the left, former Oregon player. On the right, Willow Johnson, former Oregon player, across the net from her this evening.
I had a feeling that last night would be big for Willow Johnson. She was like a caged animal, finally set free. She really just needed 1 day of training with her new setter, Marley Monserrat, to get the set she needed to bring her back up to the level that we know she's capable of. She was on a point-scoring streak, and despite not getting that win last night, they couldn't get over the line, but Willow was a big part of why Lecator's team are looking so lethal.
Okay, 10 kills for Nuneviller, but the percentage not really there. Johnson continues to stack good performances on top of good performances.
And this is something we talk about a lot at Athletes Unlimited. It's not how you start, it's how you finish. So Brooke Nuneviller was impressive in the first weeks. She's dipped a little bit. On the other hand, Willow Johnson continues to be on the rise. So those 2 players, depending on their performance today, could be hugely influential in the outcome.
That is Brooke Nuneviller right there, stepping back to the service line for Team Drews. They come in having lost Team Abercrombie 75-68 and then a heartbreaker 66-64 to Team De La Cruz just last night. We're underway here in our first of 2, and that ball is killed by Kayla Hanline, who's got a chance to start this week.
Yeah, she's been impressive. We've liked the look of her in the last couple of days. She's also climbing her way up the leaderboard.
Back on the other side, Maddie Kingdon-Rischel off of her best performance. And there's an ace to go with it. Best performance of the tournament. Kingdon, 17 kills, hit .424 last night. What was the difference for her?
Well, she is another one of those players that I said needs to find that connection with her setter. Brand new setter in Marley Monserrat. She's actually had a new setting duo every single week that she's played in Athletes Unlimited Volleyball. So I think it's just a matter of getting that 1 day, getting that training, and kind of working into what's comfortable for her.
Payne, they're running her kind of over the top of Oblad. A lot of hitters in the same zone. Nice job for Kelsey Payne. Spoke to her just before we started this evening, and I said, what puts you in your comfort zone? And she said, look, I'm going to dance a little bit, I'm move around it, keep it loose. If I think too much, I can kind of get in my own head.
Oh, well, she was doing a bit of dancing before the match. Put something on social media if you want to go and check it out. She's one of the best dancers on the team, I'd say.
Nice. High left side, Drews blocked straight back. Handline making her presence known. So she'll pick up 12 for that stuff block, Will, number 26 in blue.
And what I like about day 3 on the weekend is players start to get to know the other team. It's always the first day you're kind of getting to know what the other teams on the other side are going to bring. They've now had 2 days to scout their opposition.
Drews, overhand reception, long approach to the net. She is dug. Captain Lecator covers herself. Reset right back, she'll use the block. It's out of bounds, and Lecator member Monet goes +8 for the first time here this evening. 8 points for every kill. Kayla Handline already with 12 points, individual stat points for the block that she put on the left side attack of the team in purple. Caffey, nice pass. And some confusion without the libero out there. Whose ball is that? You had two middles trying to decide there, Key. Did you want to get out and maybe join the campfire?
Well, it's definitely one of the two middles. It's not anybody else because everyone else is going to be in the outlet set. But yeah, I think they needed some s'mores. They needed some marshmallows to roast there around that fire.
Out there telling stories about the one time they should have been set.
Yeah, then someone brought a guitar, the tiniest guitar in volleyball. Please set me.
Member Monet, nice approach in, and it pays off, dropping in front of Brooke Nuneviller.
More Member Monet all day long. She's one of my favorite players, I think, coming into this season that's starting to see. I mean, she plays undersized, right? Shorter player, but always finds a way to score. I love watching her.
Oh, Emily Thader with a rejection now. Both middles picking up a block. Thader unquestionably one-on-one here.
I like how disciplined she is. You see her wait, and Haley's one step off the net, so you might not expect that to go to the middle. But Kayla Caffey, always dangerous. She's not going to leave her alone.
That is Thader's 21st block on the season. She's sitting in third. That one's through Thader's hands and down from Payne. You have to have high expectations for Team Drews for Payne tonight. She was 5 of 24, hit 0.83. Trying to change that around here. What do you think changes that for her as Drews drops the serve in?
Well, I think she likes a little bit of a higher set. She likes a little bit more time to think about the ball, watch it.
A little collision there. Hopefully everyone's okay. And Willow Johnson puts it away quickly. That was Montserrat and the captain, Member Monet, both going for that ball.
Yeah, that looked painful. It kind of stopped me in my tracks. Good thing that Willow didn't get distracted, though. She keeps on going with her mission tonight.
Jump serve coming. Woo, that's tough. Set over, picked up. There's a libero back in. Nomaris Velez Augusto. Lake not to be outdone on the other side. Block back, just out of bounds. A 58-mile-an-hour ripper set up that rally there. Team member Monet looking good early. They lead 8-3, just like that. And they've kind of scored in each rotation, just a couple of points. And that's how you build a 5-point lead. Sneaky 5-point lead. Right side Payne, that's a little too low. Can they reset it for her? No, Nuneviller tips. Thrown back into the hole, vacated by a diving Willow Johnson.
That's a smart play to get Lancaster on the floor and to get her off the service line because she has one of the most lethal serves on the court right now.
Kayla Caffey, second in the league in blocks, 22 coming into this match. Already been a captain once this year. Good tough serve there. Thader trying to work off the block, and Payne just getting stuck with a rough spot there. Tough to decide what to do with the ball.
Yeah, well, it was a pretty aggressive serve, but perfectly on the head of the setter. Marley Montserrat had a lot of options. I love that she goes to Thader there, opening up that side of the court, pulling her behind. I think Thader's one of those players that maybe prefers to hit in the middle, but if she has a chance to use her behind, absolutely go for it.
Thader trying to get Nuneviller out, has her on the ground, and now making the defensive play. Rischel into the block and down, but a net violation is going to give it to the other side.
Oh, that's unlucky. Good press by Maddie Rischel.
Everything was good about this play except for the net.
Yeah.
Payne now back row. Rischel. That's the Maddie Kingdon Rischel we know.
I love that Marley Montserrat goes to her immediately as well. She's just, the player has just made the error, lost a point for your team, feed her that ball, because I think volleyball has a lot to do with confidence, and you can grow in confidence, you can lose it equally based on different actions.
Indoor, Florida. Outdoors, the beach for UCLA for Montserrat. Backslide, right back on top of Oblad. Kingdon piling up some points. 8 for the kill before, 12 for that block there. That is 20 individual stat points in 2 plays.
Huge block, massive hands over the net, and she's taken away all the daylight from Oblad. A one-on-one, watch the movement of the feet, and then just tracking that ball as it goes.
Already putting a lot of pressure on Team Drews. Team member Monet up 11-5. Timeout, Team Drews. Athletes Unlimited Pro Volleyball is sponsored by Nike. A steadily built 11-5 lead for team member Monet, causing a timeout for Team Drews, and gives us a chance for you to interact with us with Key's question of the night, something new that we're doing here. Who is your favorite Athletes Unlimited rookie and why? Send your responses to @VB_CI. That's Key. We will call out the best answers live tonight. You're already getting some of those, aren't you?
I already got a couple. I mean, I know I have some favorites, but
okay.
I wanted to tell you one of them already. Someone said Lekator, because you don't have to be over 6 foot to be a terminal hitter and be a big bad wall. That was Bryson Coe who said that. Bryson, I think Kevin agrees with you.
Oh yeah. Lekator is awesome. All right, let's go to Savannah with more on team member Monet.
Well, both of these teams are chasing their first match win of the week, and I listened in about what it is that Team Lekator member Renee is trying to put together on the last day. They're coming off of a loss last night, but in a match that was so hard fought. They talked about how they felt like they played like they were capable of, and that surprised their opponents. What they looked at, though, was that errors cost them. They lost by 2. They had 9 serving errors, 9 attack errors, and 2 errors in serve receive. Just a couple of those go their way, and they would have come out on top in that match. And one of the things that they know about this group that's finally clicking on day 3 is this is a mix-up team. A lot of these players have not played beside each other before, and they're finally feeling the connection and their teamwork to hopefully cut down on some of that miscommunication.
All right, well, they have steadily built a lead here in this first set. How about this? Team Drews, no one has served twice. On the other side, for team member Monet, all but one of their servers so far has served twice. They have built that lead steadily with each server.
Yeah, so they haven't done it in one long string of points. They've just, each person doing their job. I like
runs, just one every time. Over the top, that one cannot be handled by Lake. Digs it to her former spot there. As you see our leaderboard going up and down, that will update live as people add points. Willow Johnson adding 8 points just now via that kill. 12-6. Savannah Collins is going to be embedding with one of the teams, or both of the teams, throughout the evening. Yeah. That ball is dug. Oblad handles it right back to approach. Ball is really high, not the cleanest of contacts, but it counts just the same.
High, crisp, getting the ball to the floor. That's all that really matters. But a couple of waffles with the pancakes, it's totally fine.
It does seem like a weird breakfast, but yes, you're right, just fine.
All things sugar.
Little back, Kingdon tipping, Payne got a piece of it. Oh, absolutely. Transform fist mode to smash that one.
We love an overpass. We love a ball right on the net. I mean, that's a middle's dream. First of all, good little push there from Kingdon. She's in the right spot, gets a player on the floor, but Hanneline with the heads up.
She'll go to the service line. She could be so tough from there, but missed again. That's a great call out by both you and Savannah, noting the 9 service errors for team member Monet last night, a match in which they lost 73-71.
Yeah, and I actually went and spoke to Lector, and she said that's the missing piece for them. Cut down on those errors. I don't want us choking in those awkward spots, and that could be the difference maker.
Could be. Difference in that play is Danny Drews reaching into the seam, shut down Willow Johnson. That's an old Pac-12 rivalry. That ball carries way too far from Hilly. Willow Johnson from right here in Paradise Valley, Arizona, not far away from where we play these matches. She also misses. So when you've talked about service errors and then you start making a bunch of service errors, are you thinking too much about service errors?
Well, they have to be thinking about that, right? That's, if Lector said that to me, it probably means she said it to the whole team. And if everyone is thinking, all right, don't make an error, don't make an error, you're probably gonna make an error. If you go back to the service line and say, I'm focusing on this player, I'm looking for this seam, I'm gonna contact it with a flat hand. If you start focusing on the process rather than not making the error, you're more likely to have success.
All right, see if they can get back to being process-oriented from the line. Like a tour member, Monet, she ripped off a couple of good ones last time. Off the block of Montserrat last time. Woo! Yep, off the receive, out of bounds, plus 12. That is a service ace.
And I have a question for you, Kevin, because I was never a top spin server, but it always feels to me like a top spin server kind of just has to be loose, and it's less about the process than it is about just being casual back there and comfortable.
It's about the toss.
Okay.
It's really about the toss, setting yourself up for success, and then managing whatever you did to yourself when you tossed it. So sometimes you're feeling good, sometimes you're not. That one was 61 miles an hour, but just out of bounds.
It looked like she took a little pace off it as well, so maybe she's thinking too much about it.
I think she missed contact. You can kind of hear it. It's not as crisp, and so you don't get the top spin on it, and it goes long and long back the other way. They repay the favor. As a jump server, too, you always have to have a couple of things in your pocket that when you're out of rhythm, you fall back on a couple things mechanically. For me, it was always, if I'm hitting the ball over the gym, okay, toss it high, because it's a high ball, get a big approach, and then think about piking over the top. That always helped me reset via that routine. But Monet is in rhythm. She doesn't need to reset now. Oh, they maybe need a reset with the attack side because the middles of team member Monet are piling up some points. Handline again.
Yeah, she's been crucial. I think I tend to just talk on and on about the middles, and this time I was focusing on let's get the pins going, but she's been, I think she's the top scorer right now of her side. Love that for a middle.
That one rattles through. I talked to Payne, you're exactly right. Your read of what she needs in transition. She said, I'd like the ball high and tight near the antenna. And I said, yeah, that makes a lot of sense to me. I said, high and tight lets you, Kelsey Payne, take your physicality, climb the ladder, and challenge the block to come with you. I think if she does that, I don't think the block can stop her.
And because she's so tall, right? This is the same thing that Abercrombie has, the same advantage because she can get the ball higher than the blocker on the other side can even reach.
High hands, nice touch by the block. Here they come in transition. Willow Johnson chips it. That's a nice bump set. And the tip will go. Nice delivery by Hilly.
There's also an advantage to having a tall setter that sometimes doesn't get talked about that much. I loved it as a middle. You can just kind of grab the ball right out of their hands. But if Payne wants a higher ball, she has a taller setter that can just contact it higher and there's less time to get to her peak.
Lekator steps in, sets that ball, but it is missed by Kingdon, who was looking for the line. This is how it sets up tonight on the leaderboard. You really want to pay attention to what's happening. So Abercrombie has 173 points over Betania de la Cruz Mejia. We're going to see those two match up, a battle of unbeatens, and in fact, Abercrombie remains unbeaten this season in her rookie year with Athletes Unlimited. That ball is banged through. It's going to be an overpass, redirected again. Handline will pick up some more points on top of the cable. But then the battle rages from there because Kojima, Natalia Valentin-Anderson, Lekator member Monet, Morgan Hens, Claire Hoffman, Danny Drews, those 6 players for 2 captain spots are separated by less than 200 points. Wins right now tonight, all those team points, those 180 team points are going to play huge in the calculation as to who ends up in the captain's chair tomorrow. With Savannah Collins hosting that draft. There's a kill from Willow Johnson, trying to get those 40 win points for her side in this set number 1.
And again, neither of these teams with any win points as of yet. I thought the blue side was really impressive last night. They were just not able to push over the line because of how Abercrombie's team was just so gritty. But tonight they'll have that in the back of their minds.
Service pressure, paying again. That time it's dug by Lake. It'll stay alive. Nunaviller resets it. Drews back row. This will be Kingdon. Excellent touch. Noma to Willow, who rips it through and off the face of either Oblad or Nunaviller.
So Willow said what she needs from her setter is a faster ball. So she's looking for the opposite of what Kelsey Payne is looking for. She wants it a little speedier to the pin. She likes to get on it quick and try and beat her blocker rather than with height.
Another overpass. This one blocked. Scoop overhead. Nice dig by Lake. Hilly, a couple of options here. Back row to Drews. Johnson, not this time. Coverage by Drews. No! In fact, it'll be another block for Handline, who is absolutely tearing up this first set. Handline checking in with her 3rd block early in this match. That's 36 individual points. All right. Well, Kayla Handline's taking you down into a fall. And we know fall is here with the AU Pro Shop that has you covered with the latest volleyball gear. I'm wearing it. I'm loving it. Check it out on the online store, shop.auprosports.com. It is the destination for player merchandise, new arrivals, and exclusive styles you won't find anywhere else. Go check it out. AU Pro Sports Shop. All right, we have a lot of Key content tonight. I'm sensing a theme. You're doing a lot of work here, Key Michael. Let's go off the court with Key and Willow Johnson.
Welcome back to Off Court with Key. I have another special guest for you. I'm going to grab Willow Johnson and pull her off the court, and we're just going to walk and talk about everything not volleyball. So first question on the docket is Halloween is coming up. I know you were a risky business last year. What are you going to be this year?
I am going to be Catwoman this year. I'm super excited. My boyfriend's going to be Batman.
Speaking of cats, I know that you love cats because they're a little stumpy. What is your favorite thing about cats?
My favorite thing about cats is probably just their chill personality. My cat has such a cute, fun personality, but she's also super chill. She just loves to take naps and hang out by the window.
Speaking of naps, I know you have a 1-year-old. Your aunt to a 1-year-old, Penelope, and what is your favorite thing to do with her?
My favorite thing to do with her is just take naps. She just loves to sleep a lot, you know? She just learned how to walk, but I love when she just lays on my chest and takes a little snooze.
I mean, sleeping's the best. But last year, when you're not sleeping, you're playing a lot of volleyball, and last year you had pink hair, which was phenomenal. What's the craziest thing you've ever done with your hair or your style?
Craziest thing I've probably done with my hair is have all purple hair in college.
I love
That's
that.
crazy.
And you also have a few different tattoos.
Yeah.
What was your first tattoo and what does it mean to you?
Yeah, my first tattoo was one on my collarbone. It says Laime, which is Latvian for happiness, and my grandma's from Latvia, so I kind of got it for that.
I love love that. Well, we're already on the court because we obviously don't know how to walk in a straight line, but I'm gonna let you stay on the court and I'm gonna head back over here. Ciao.
Bye.
That's the first time I've seen Key have to get off the court.
I know, I thought we were trying to walk around the court, but we were so focused on just chatting that we ended up just walking around the net, basically. But Willow's so fun, and she's always up for a good time. You've got to go back and have a look at some of the photos on her social media of her hair last year. Bright pink, and I'd love to see her with purple hair. I think that'd be so cool.
Glad you're enjoying some AU Pro Volleyball tonight. Tomorrow, we're going to have the second annual NHL Frozen Frenzy. All 32 teams taking the ice. I love this kind of thing. We'll have a triple header on ESPN, starting with the Caps and Flyers, 6 Eastern. Our whip-around coverage of every game. Think about Red Zone here. I don't know, they're going to call it like the Blue Line Zone or something. Starts at 7 Eastern on ESPN Plus and 8 Eastern on ESPN2. It all begins with The Point at 5 on ESPN2. What a night of hockey coverage. Blue Zone getting started at 7 Eastern. All right, let's check in with Savannah Collins once again.
Well, Team Drews has found themselves between a rock and a hard place to start off this game, and that hard place is playing from the behind. When you dig into the stats, this team has been beaten to the 5-point mark in every single set this week, including this one. They've been beaten to the 10-point mark in every single set but one, and that is not what Danny Drews wants for her team. She feels like that has to change because it hurts them to play to not make mistakes. She wants her hitters swinging for points and her team playing freely, and they can't do that until they get ahead in the score.
Well, the other side is not going to let them do it. Your opponent does get a say, and right now the block is saying, no soup for you.
No soup for you, says Willow Johnson. I mean, it's a good point that Savannah makes. It is so hard to play from behind because then, like you mentioned, we start focusing on the score. We start focusing on having to get the serve in rather than just focusing on the things that make you a good volleyball player.
Team member Benet with 6 blocks in this first set. That is their entire output from the match before. That ball is killed by the double sub here. That'll be Gabby Blossom to Becca Latham. 23-15, and keep in mind how critical scoring any points at the end of this set can be when it comes to that overall score. Last night's matches determined each by just 2 points. And those 60 team points and how big those are going to play when it comes to the captain's chairs. There's a kill by Maddie Kingdon-Rischel, who looks different to me tonight. She's trying to hit edges. She's hitting around the ball. Her side will be swinging for a set point and 40 team points. You know, Kingdon-Rischel is dying to get some wins.
Oh, yeah.
Blossom, Oblad, Terraflex.
I like that connection. Again, we haven't seen a whole lot of Oblad. We saw a little bit last night and the night before, but she's just kind of working her way into the Athletes Unlimited universe. And I think there's a lot more good things to come from her.
Erin Fairs checks in to serve. Players Executive Committee member, longtime AU Pro. We've seen her a couple times in this role this weekend. Handline gets the kill. Noma with the scoop pass. Everyone playing their part in the first set. An extremely smooth 25-16 effort to open this final match of the weekend. Team member Benet on top big. A 25-16 opener for team member Monet against Team Drews here, setting them up quite well in the first set for perhaps an overall victory. Their setter distributing the ball and making things happen. Let's go into the game with the U.S. Air Force and Marley Montserrat, number 33.
Watch out now. Come on. Come on. Look at those hips. We're gonna get this money, sis! Blue Diamonds is the only way! The hair tie is not tight enough. My hair's just a little too clean.
It's like, do you know how to dunk? You know, it's like, I can never find it.
I can do. You wanna go with me? Here, here. Oh, nice.
Block for sure.
For sure. Come on. Over, Kay. Yes! Great job. Good. Great pass. Good job, Kay. Dropping. Great pass. Forward. Inside. Yes, Kayla! So good.
You know, it's wild because I feel like she's one of the players I don't know that well. After watching this, I feel like I know Marley Montserrat and I want to be best friends with her. But I'm not the only one. Actually, someone wrote into social media and said, John K. Chen said, Marley Montserrat, her energy is infectious and she's a versatile setter. I tend to agree with you. And that's why she's his favorite rookie. And I think one of mine too.
All right, that was a little foreshadowing with Montserrat next to Handline because she had herself a first set. They said, oh, that was definitely a block when they were shadow blocking. No kidding. Handline picked up 3 in that first set.
Yeah, Handline's been go-to on the money. I love when a middle blocker gets heavily involved in the match, but she's taking things into her own hands, not only available in a big attacking role, but she's also just shutting down one of the big guns on the other side. Twice in a row there, taking out Brooke Nunnamello. Then she shuts down Drews. I mean, what a way to pay attention to the pins and make sure the strengths of her opposition are nullified.
Shutting down, subtracting points from her opponent, giving points to herself as we look at the stats through the first. A first set in which Team Drews only scored on their serve 3 times.
Yeah, you've got to have a tough serve first and foremost, but it's really Lekator's side that are serving tougher, and you can see it through the blocks as well. 6 blocks to 2, and that tells me that first contact is aggressive. It's just making it easier for Handline to do her job, to really patrol the net, move with fluidity, and be aggressive in her arms.
Set score goes back to 0. The aggregate score continues from 25-16. Where does it go for here for team member Monet? Our own Savannah Collins was finding out in between sets.
Well, it's really neat to get to hear those mic'd ups, particularly of Marley Montserrat, because you could almost hear her confidence, which is exactly how her team described her right now, especially coming off of yesterday's match. Member Monet said, Marley is the type of player that you breathe life into. And from their connection with the PVF on the Atlanta Vibe, being together this week and giving her that starting spot, she is seeing the results she expected from Montserrat because of how she's able to disperse the offense and get her team involved. She's the type of player that you got to give confidence to say, hey, you do you, and we're going to follow you.
With PVF already online and Love Volleyball or League One coming online, a lot of those intersections are going to be increased. It was odd for you to play with another American overseas. Now it's going to be normal to have played with another American in one of the home-based leagues, one of the mainland leagues.
Yeah, and those kind of connections that you learn from this league or from a longer league, they really come into play when you're on a short league like this.
Banging through the block, going flat for success. Maddie Kingdon-Richel. And team member Monet opens the second set, continuing to roll.
And it's interesting, she hasn't had to be the go-to player, but I love that she's getting involved. And again, my question of the night, if you want to write into @VB_Key or CI, you can let me know who your favorite rookie is of the season, and we're going to read those out on air.
Ace service once again. This is looking like the start of set 1. It was an 8-3 quick sprint from team member Monet. Marley Montserrat to the back row, Willow Johnson to the front, along with Kayla Handline, who has been an absolute wall. And then the transition attacking of Maddie Kingdon-Richel. quick. Watson blocked again. In the zone. Hand line. The block zone.
The block zone's exactly where you want to be if you're on the blocking side of it. Not so much if you're the attacker, though. Karis Watson trying to turn that away from her shoulder. Finds a very strong block.
Team Drews, welcome to the phone booth.
Milk was a bad choice.
Johnson off the block and out of bounds. Do you call your timeout now? You're down 4-0. 5-0, check that.
All right, this is the way you want to start if you're the blue side. And this is, to be fair, this is kind of how they started last night. They were aggressive. Things were clicking. Offense was firing. Monsterey was connecting with her hitters. They just couldn't put it over the edge. That's the difference. In the first set, they pushed over the edge. So I think they've kind of got that in the back of their mind.
Tough service once again. No swing. Can team member Monet make them pay? Yes, they can. 6 to the goose egg.
And Savannah talked about it. What the trouble is for Drew's side is they have to now dig and scrape themselves out of this.
Well, I wonder with Team Drews, can you have too many all-around players?
I see what you're saying. Less specialty.
Yeah.
Well, I'm thinking for Betty's team, for example, she's brought a passing player and an attacking and someone who's specializing in blocking. And that's what you're seeing on Lekator's side as well. She's got the offense from Kingdon. She's got Johnson, who's unleashing now. Hanline, who's really good in the block. But I think you might be right. Drew's team is a little too all over the place.
Drews. Oh, blocked again. Kayla Hanline, just mark it down now. MVP 1 or MVP 2, your choice. I'm going to go with 1 right now for number 26, getting a chance to start full-time in this week for the very first time. And I'll tell you what, it is not going to be the last time. Kayla Hanline, stock looking like it's a tech stock, straight up. If you're looking to YOLO on a stock, go ahead and do it with Kayla Hanline and team member Monet. They are up 7-0 in the second set and running to 32-16, doubling up in the overall. A dream start for this third match for them. Hey, you've heard us talk in system and out of system. What does it mean? What does it look like? Key Michael, she's got you covered on some BBIQ right now.
Well, I think one of the reasons team member Monet has been so strong is because they've been serving tough. And when you serve tough, it's really good to get the other team out of system. But when you're in system, this is what it looks like. If you have a perfect pass, that ball is going right on the head of the setter. Look where Sydney Hilly is right now. 1, 2, 3, 4 attackers are coming in. That's a tsunami of offense for Kaz Brown on the other side. It is so tough for you to pay attention to more than just one hitter at a time. You see that ball goes quick to the middle, and that's almost a guaranteed point. So that's what we mean when we say the ball is in system. When it's out of system, and this is what you do when you get really tough serves coming at you. So have a look at this ball as it travels across the net. You got Marley Monsterey having to run, sprint all the way behind the 3-meter line. She can't use her middle. She can't really run that pipe. She only has 2 hitters available to her. Watch the blockers on the other side. They move. They can put their hands down. They're kind of moving pretty casually to put a really well-formed block. Lekator having to hit out or around that block. That's why being out of system is so tough. What do you think, Kevin?
Well, Team Drews has been spending a lot of time out of system.
Yeah, exactly.
It's been some tough serving from team member Monet. It's already a couple of aces, but it's also all those out of system opportunities. Some have turned into swings, some have just turned into straight free ball opportunities. How would you counsel Team Drews right now as they are still on the short end of the momentum stick here?
Well, they have to try and get that ball in a better position for their setter. They have to be able to run an offense. Of course, Marley Monsterey right now, she's targeting the right side of the court, gets Danny Drews in an awkward spot. That was better by Lake. She stepped in, took a little bit more of the court, allowed her hitters to run an offense, but that's what we talk about. Get someone in a position to put that ball on the setter so that there are more options.
All right, so maybe a little bit more aggression from Lake at the libero position, that middle linebacker running the defense here. The push from Watson gets her 8 points. That tip and pick up, that's 5 for Gabby Blossom for the defense. Kingdon, no swing here. Watson handles it. Tries to be the decoy. And it eventually does work. The push on the outside from Nunaviller goes to the floor. And they're on the board for the second time here, Team Drews. Let's check in with team member Monet. Emily Thader dropping in to join us. Emily, you guys are off to a torrid start here. What's been going right in your huddle and with your prep?
Well, we are off to a great start. I think Kayla is really looking good right now. Like her blocking, her moves, everything is just kind of going right for her, but she's also working really hard to make that happen. I just think we look really disciplined. We look confident. We're not doing silly things. And that's not to say that purple is, but when you really control those controllables on your side, I think it's easy to look like you got it all under control. So I'm really proud of us. We just look super experienced and disciplined. So with a reasonably young team. So yeah, I'm psyched.
I love that. And I also love this color on you, by the way. Blue eyes. Amazing.
Thank you.
So what are you looking at? When you're a middle blocker out there, you've got a few big hitters coming at you. You've got Drews on one side, you've got Payne on the other. What's your priority? Because blocking is popping off right now for your team.
Man, discipline as best as I can, especially when we get them serving kind of tough and out of system. I think that's kind of our best asset. So my hope as a middle is that my team from the service line or my attackers are always going after it just to make my job a little simpler. But I think inside hands, dropping hands, hip to hip, closed when I can, and just trying to stay over as long as I can, because these girls, as you said, they're high contact point, they're smart hitters. These are all professionals. They're not going to be silly and just bang into the block. So I've got to be more disciplined.
All right, we're looking for a side out here if it happens.
There it
and it
is.
does. You're back in.
Bye. Thank you.
All right, thanks, Emily.
I was going to give her one more chance to make her case for Rookie of the Season on my Instagram, but you know what? I'll make it for her. She has been fantastic this year. I've loved watching her get better and better every single day, every single match.
Emily Thader is sneaky tall, too.
Yeah.
I don't know if you stood next to her. She's listed at 6'3". That's a complete lie. That's a fabrication.
Lies.
Yeah.
Evan does not believe you, Emily.
No.
Why would she undersell her height?
I think that happens.
I don't think that's a thing in sports.
No, I think it might be.
I think I was 6'6" one season. I was like, all right.
Well, we had the back-to-back earlier. You're not 6'6". We determined that. Backslide tipped. Lecator will get this one. Blasting through the block, but right to Lake. Lake scoops it, is on the money, and that pays off. Payne from the right side.
I also love that Thader mentioned in that chair chat, out of system. So exactly what we were just talking about. She said our servers are tough, and that puts the other team out of system. And you can see a perfect example there. She had to follow with her blocker Oblad on one side. She left that wide open behind, and that's a great shot for purple.
Both opposites cranking. That was a really nice pull by 44. I think it's when Willow Johnson's at her best, when she can do this more often.
Yeah. And that's still, it's a fast set, right? Monserrat, even though she's moving forward, she's flinging that back. She knows now what Willow wants.
What Catwoman wants, Catwoman gets.
Yes.
Tip there, picked up by Payne. She's out. Middle back comes Drews and blocked. That has been the story here. Now, that was a little cat pose there.
I was gonna say Thader with the little dinosaur arms. Little T-Rex arms. That's adorable.
Emily Thader getting in on the action. I'll tell you, people are shooting up the leaderboard here with the success. Monserrat moments ago was up 6 slots. Handline was up 5 via all those stuff blocks. That live leaderboard is updating. Keep an eye on it. You can always also pull it up on a second screen if you want to really follow along and see how those individual and team successes matter. There it is, popping up for you live here. We've got 2 challenges per team per set, and we're going to end up in one right now.
Another thing Thader mentioned in the chair is discipline. And I think that's something that's kind of, you got to unpack that a bit. As a middle blocker in specific moments, what it means to be disciplined is not to reach out, not to flail your arms, not to kind of get sucked in one direction and go the other way. You focus on your goal, you focus on who your priorities are, and then you move quickly and you get your arms over the net, and you're not trying to kind of reach to your outside hitter. That's what she means when she's talking about being disciplined. So I'm curious to look at a replay of this, because she was rushed. She was in a speedy moment here that was she disciplined or was she not? The ball's called out of bounds. I think that landed on the floor.
Yeah, it looks like it might have caught the back line.
Yeah, just.
Yeah, good work by our referees. Lena Gustafson is the R1 for this match. Katie Meyer at the R2. Had Petey Meyer yesterday on the beach, a referee couple. And Petey Meyer, my unofficial Poober.
Cougar?
Poober.
Pooh Bear.
When I need a ride.
Uber.
Yeah, P plus Uber, the Poober. I just call him and say, come pick me up.
This is what I love hanging out with Kevin. I 90% of the time have no idea what you're saying.
It's okay. It's okay. Neither does anyone else.
We love it.
Monet's been ripping. A little long that time.
So serving errors were one of the things to focus on coming into the match. However, I feel like Lekator has a green light to swing.
Oh, yeah.
Everyone else get the ball in.
And we've seen her manage herself down to a jump float when it's just not there. But more often than not, it is there. And that time it's there for Kingdon Rischel, who cleans up the 50-50 ball. They're still doubled up here, 14-7. You really want to keep an eye on that overall score as well, as it pops in. 39-23 is the overall. That is a massive lead for team member Monet, looking for those 60 team points and the overall victory. There it is, right below our set score. Another tough pass. Handline not quite sure what to do with it. Kingdon chops off a shaved special.
Lekator is enjoying her team. This is what I love watching as well, is when captains really get what they wanted out of their players. All these players are hand-picked by Lekator, so it's a big slice there from Kingdon, but look at the reaction from the captain, from Marley Monserrat. They're just having a great time.
Another tough serve from Thader. Monserrat playing tip coverage. Thader, beautifully done. Line was open, line taken. Drews with the point. But the lead remains 16 in the overall.
I'll be keeping my eyes on Drews as well. So she's always someone smiling, always someone positive. Can she continue that, even if she doesn't walk away with a single win this weekend? Or her entire captain career, she hasn't had a win as a captain.
That's a tough one. Hand line, one-on-one, gets the overpass. That'll be cleaned by Kingdon. They are ruling the airspace whenever something is in doubt along that cable.
And you have to. The aggressive nature of a player at the front court is to be heads up, is to be ready. And that's also a great communication there. Monserrat almost took a little step. Maddie Kingdon called her off because she's got her right arm on the ball. They're kind of flowing.
Right side, Drews, off the block, out of bounds. As a team, Team Drews hitting 111. Currently, they are giving up 380. Nice set, good delivery with pace, and the tip works.
Kingdon, Johnson, Hanneline, just the power trio right now. And it's interesting because Lekator has had to carry the majority of the offensive load. She has just 2 kills. She's barely even been set. And I wonder if that's a strategic plan to really open up those other pins, or if she said, hey, let's just be more sharing of the load.
There's plenty of arms to go around right now and finding success. 8 kills for Maddie Rischel. She'll be the setter this time to Johnson, who ends up with a reset. Nomaris clears everyone out. Gives it to the captain, who converts. So Lekator gets in on the action. She is now 3 of 8, hitting over 300. If you're watching the match now, be sure and also follow AU Pro Volleyball on Instagram. You can get exclusive content featuring your favorite AU players, including highlights, mic dubs, behind the scenes, and more. Probably some key content in there as well. Go ahead and follow at AU Pro Volleyball. Lekator rolling. Nunaville inside. That'll be in the ceiling, still playable. Drews steps in. Payne steps over and hits the ball long. That one might be ripe for a challenge.
Probably worth a challenge because at this stage, again, the momentum is all on the blue side. So at the very least, have another look at it, and we will.
That one,
it looked pretty close.
It may have been in. I thought I had it in real time coming towards us in that deep corner. It was called long. It was called in on the sideline. It was definitely on the sideline, but I felt like it was a little bit short of the line. So challenge from Team Drews, their first of the set. Team member Monet has already had one challenge go by, originally called out. And that's out.
Ooh, it is, yeah.
Clearly.
You can see a little bit of space there.
Excellent job by our referees and lines people. I think that's going to be a quick one. And the score is going to remain 19-9. This is turning quickly into the team member Monet show. 44-25. One of the more dominant performances we've seen thus far at like this midpoint of a match.
I'm trying to do the math and think, at what point will you not be able to come back in the next set?
24? If you're down 24?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, well, no, you have to be down 23 to tie, right?
Math.
Yeah. Tip. Montserrat waiting on it. Lecator forward momentum through the block and long. Well done, 20-9. So the lead is 20. They could be up 25 if they ran off 5 more.
Yeah. And then it's game over.
Game over at that point. You've already won the overall.
Has anyone ever won the overall in just 2 sets?
We're going to have to consult our historians. Someone open the book of Unlimited, please.
I feel like I would have known that. I've been at almost every match.
Ball set over. Diving Lake has it. Payne throws it, and Nomaris is under. Lecator not throwing anything. Fire on that shoulder a little too much. Burns the ball out of bounds.
I'm still continuing to watch the pattern of Marley Montserrat's sets, though. Goes kind of hot on one player and then hot on another player and kind of shifting it around. And this is the job of Berkeley Oblad right now to pay attention to that. Where's this ball going to go? Probably the serve on Maddie Kingdon.
Fares into serve. Our Statman Pickle is researching key. He'll have the answers momentarily for us. Over the top, tip is good. Regardless, we're going to enter a third set where team member Monet can take those 60 team points quite quickly. The lead stands at 20. Paige Briggs-Romine checks in out of Western Kentucky. One of those programs a lot of people don't know about, but have been excellent for some time. Nunaville are snapping high, dug up. Rolls shot, Nunaville pivots. It'll go to Payne. Rischel's back there like a shovel. Lake with the hard-driven dig. Does she have another? Extended rally, third dig. That's 15 dig points for Rischel in this rally alone. Overhead, Drews, yes, got it. And Rischel gets a straight right to the nose.
Talk about having to work for a point between Lake and Rischel in the defense. No balls falling. Danny Drews finally getting one off the side, but it took 3, 4 attempts. I think it was Nunaville who had 3 attempts to score and couldn't get it done. That's unusual for her. Only 5 points so far tonight. That's not a Nunaville number.
I take it back. It's more of an uppercut that Rischel received off that dig. Vader, she receives the set, scores the point. Those are 8 individual points scored for number 14 via that kill.
And I love that we just had her in a chair chat, talking strategy, talking blocking, and now she's out there on the floor. Can kind of think about what she's thinking about. She already told us what it is.
Holding on to that 20-point advantage is team member Monet. That ball is going to be too tight to the net. Tip, but a kill made out of it anyway by Brooke Nuneviller flying in.
We talked a lot about the players at the net patrolling on the blue side, really taking care of that airspace. That one, not so much. That one could have been a pretty easy, solid block straight down. Just let Nuneviller in there.
So you'd fault that one on the block for getting past the block?
Kind of, because it was such a tight ball. I almost thought like, oh, Thader's all over this. She's going to just stuff it straight down. What are we looking at here?
And then you take it a little bit further. I think we've got a little blood on the floor right now. We need to get wiped up. Katie Meyer is on it. So you take it a little bit further, then why didn't the block get a hold of it? Who is responsible for setting that position?
Well, for me, it was Thader. I think when the ball is inside, the middle blocker has to stop and the outside should move to her.
Okay.
However, that was just kind of an awkward, weird play, but because it was so tight, my instinct, again, that middle spidey sense, is just throw your hands over, force her to try and use you. However, now that I'm saying it out loud, maybe Thader's thinking, all right, Nuneviller's going to push that ball off my hands.
All right, well, now we know what you're going to be at Halloween with your Spidey sense. Here's our ABC College Football Saturday tripleheader with every team ranked in the top 25. Noon Eastern, number 12, Notre Dame takes on number 24, Navy in the Meadowlands. Then, number 15, Alabama hosting number 21, Missouri. And we cap the night with 8th-ranked LSU and 14th-ranked Texas A&M in College Station. What a football lineup on ABC and ESPN+. Plus, I personally will be in Autzen Stadium for Oregon and Illinois. I hope Illinois wears those 1920s looking leather helmets again. They're real helmets painted to look like leather helmets. That was one of my favorite moments of college football this last weekend. All right, we're getting a little cleanup done, making sure that everything's all taken care of. And it's member Monet that had a little contact, so we'll get a Band-Aid around her left hand. And the fans get a chance to get on camera here in Mesa, Arizona. Arizona Athletic Grounds, our home for the second time in a row. Kevin Barnett alongside Olympian Key Michael. We have Savannah Collins on the sideline. And we're enjoying our time here. 2 more weeks to go, week 4, and then our championship weekend, week 5, where we will crown a champion. And will it be Brittany Abercrombie there on top of the leaderboard once again? She'll have to try and stay perfect tonight against Team De La Cruz Mejia, who looked really tough last night. Their pins were outstanding.
Yeah, she picked herself a fantastic squad. We know that she's got all areas in succession, but I love that it's not even the pins. It's Kojima and Valentina Anderson that have picked up those next spots and that are kind of fighting for a spot. But she's got Hoffman there in the orange, who's one of her go-tos in the reception. That stability. Kat Bell was phenomenal. They're all of those orange players.
Yeah, those players are highlighted in orange because Team De La Cruz Mejia is wearing orange this week from that second place position. So if that team dominates tonight, we're going to see some very interesting things on the leaderboard. All right, back underway. Kingdon Rischel bringing the heat.
I love that that was from the backcourt as well. We know her from the front. We know what she's capable of when she's in a good spot in the front of the court. However, she's getting just one-on-one, and you see the blockers going to the pins. You know she's got a one-on-one there against Oblad because she doesn't hit a whole lot from the backcourt.
Lecator member Monet's been seeing a lot of serves, and people have been seeing a lot of heat from her. There's more. Backslide, that is how you do it. That is Ute, Torero, Ute, if you're scoring at home.
Say again?
Ute, Torero,
What language are you speaking?
Well, that would be former Utah Ute. On the outside, Danny Drews with the pass. That would be Gabby Blossom. She could also be a Nittany Lion, but most recently of USD and the Toreros, and then that was Berkeley Oblad. So this time, it's an Arizona Wildcat with the kill. Maddie Kingdon. All right, set point. A dominant second set on the tail of a pretty impressive first set. Has a 20-point lead in the overall for team member Monet. Thader at the line to win this one. Outside, a little too far, and it is tipped over the top. Second chance to close the set. Take the 40 team points. And then look toward a possible sweep for team member Monet. That would be a way to finish the weekend. Bad pass, Johnson called upon to finish. Did she get the block? No, she didn't. Pulled just out of bounds.
I still like the confident swing. I think she's looking more like herself. That ball, like you said, she pulled it a little bit. She kind of over-rotated to bring it out, but confidence is there.
USD in 22. Blossom with the serve. Johnson, hard, sharp angle out the other way. So Johnson has hit 2 out. Remember, you get negative points for those. You talk about the point system. An attack error is negative 12. Those are 24 points lost by Johnson, who undoubtedly wants the ball back.
Will she get a third set, though? That's the question.
It'll be Rischel. Tough opportunity. She is blocked. And maybe some momentum for the women in purple for the first time this evening. It'll be the 5th set point opportunity when they return to the floor, as timeout is called by team member Monet for the first time at 24-17.
5 opportunities to score.
That's a little bit of a giveaway here.
Yeah, and interesting because as we go into the next set, the score, the overall match score, could have been pretty drastic, but it's not going to be as bad as we thought.
Could have been 20. Could have been a gap of 20.
Yeah.
And all but assured of a team member Monet overall victory. That still is very likely, but business is not done here in set number 2. And we're not done going into the game and taking you onto the floor. Let's go onto the floor and into the game with Kayla Caffey.
I can. You didn't say no tag me back. Yeah. I'm not playing. Pre-game, I like to play tag. Tag you're it. Yeah, but usually I'm a lot better. There's just not that much space over here right now. Go, Karis. You gotta dance warm up. Uh-oh, they're getting us. Oh, go, go, go. Hey, 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 hey.
I love it. The dance party. Kayla and Karis are always bringing some energy. And interestingly, with my social media question of the night, Kayla Caffey says hometown Chicago, but actually my friend Sean said he is her rookie of the season. She's not a rookie because she was here last season, but apparently she's representing for Mobile, Alabama. I did not even know that.
I like it. I like even more that the NBA is back and tips off tomorrow. First doubleheader is Wednesday on ESPN and ESPN Deportes, as well as on the app. Giannis and the Bucks taking on Joel Embiid and the Sixers, 7:30 Eastern. Then it's out to LA for James Harden and the Clippers, hosting KD, Devin Booker, and the Suns in their brand new Intuit Dome, an incredible arena not far from the new football stadium. It all starts with NBA Countdown at 7 Eastern. SoFi and that NBA arena now just a few blocks apart. All right, quick report opportunity here for Savannah Collins, who's with Team Drews, who are rallying a little bit here, Savannah.
Totally. Going into that timeout, it seemed like the momentum was finally shifting. Something Danny Drews told her team is, hey, you guys, we have nothing to lose. We just need to reset, start playing together. They brought in Gabby Blossom to try and change some of that energy, just to have a fresh perspective, fresh look on the court. But in order to change the outcome, they have to change the energy first.
I would say the energy has been changed. They've scored a few. That one's going to be too low. Rischel, this is a 5th chance to close this set for team member Monet. The captain with a dig. Her star outside hitter. No, not yet. A rejuvenated Team Drews scores again. Holding off 5 set points.
Can we just talk about Mary Lake in the background as well? Putting on a defensive show. She has been keeping the ball off the floor. She is allowing her team to continue to play. Give a little love to the libero.
First real run for Team Drews all night. 5 points in a row. Make it 6. This is getting close to our set point record, as the double sub will now be called upon to stop the bleeding. Maddie Bug and Genesis Collazo checking in. So Collazo right front, hand line middle front. And Maddie Kingdon-Rischel in the left front, at least as they're lined up now, as team member Monet is going to ask for a lineup check, I think, here.
Yeah, better to make sure than to lose a point on something silly like the rotation.
You can always call for a lineup check whenever you want from the referees. Collazo in the right front. Delivery to the middle, hand line, finishes it. 25-19. That massive run at the end gets Team Drews a little closer, but the 50-35 is a nearly insurmountable lead in the third set. We'll see what happens here as we head on in to our final 100-point set. Kingdon-Rischel crushing.
Watch you fly, touch the sky, fly. I'm so high. You must be supernatural. Fly.
A bevy of top moments for team member Monet as they have run to a 50-35 overall score through 2 sets. They've earned 80 team points and put themselves in a good position for the overall win. Team Drews with a lot of momentum towards the end of that set. We'll see how that plays, but we know it will have to play against Maddie Kingdon-Rischel now with 10 kills.
Yeah, she was fantastic last night. A little slower coming into this match. She only had 3 kills in the first set, but turned it around with 7 in the second. And I think she is one of the players to continue watching. They kind of slowed her down. They shut her down at the end of that last set, and that's what Team Drews is going to want to continue to do, because if you let her, she will unravel a team in the defense. She's got angles. She's hitting flat and deep. That's her go-to shot, but she is so scary to play against.
Okay, she's in double figures. Then Kayla Hanline has 6 kills with 5 blocks, 5 of those 9 for team member Monet.
Yeah, this is something we talked about in the first set. Keeping the purple side out of system makes it easier for the blocks, and that's exactly what member Monet's team were doing. They were serving tough, and they were reaping the benefits of it.
We still have our keys question of the night going. Who's your favorite Athletes Unlimited rookie and why? Send your responses to @VB_Key, that's CI. We'll continue to give some of the answers that Key sees as she does double duty.
Do you want to hear another one?
Sure. Is it an actual rookie this time?
It's an actual rookie. All right, so Janice Vel, I hope I'm pronouncing that right, said Paige Romine is her favorite rookie of the season because she's from MI, and I think that stands for either Michigan? Yes, Michigan, right?
Yes.
Okay. She's from Michigan, and she's playing in Michigan next year. It's a shame that these questions are so short. I mean, it's so that you can't pack that much information into it. However, I love that a lot of different players are getting shout-outs, so if you want to send yours in, do it before the game is over.
Ortonville, Michigan, as a matter of fact, played for the Omaha Supernovas, not that far away from home, but yeah, will play this next season for the Grand Rapids Rise of the Pro Volleyball Federation, going into their 2nd season. Set number 3 getting underway. The purple-clad Team Drews, a lot of work to do here against the light blue team member Monet. Kevin Barnett alongside Olympian Key Michael and Savannah Collins on the sideline. Gabby Blossom remains. She was part of that change in momentum, change in feeling on that side. Danny Drews chips the edge, and they score the first point here. It took them a while in the second. A little better result here. Remember they went down 7-0 and called a timeout in that second set.
Yeah, I also like that Karis Watson's staying in. I spoke to her before the match, and she said it's so tough because I remember, this is Key speaking now. Great job by Karis on cue. Oh, I think she might have gotten the net. Perhaps not. But I remember watching her in the first week of the season thinking she's really come back strong. She's going to be an important part. And then she didn't get a lot of playing time. So she was talking to me about how tough it is to kind of play that roller coaster of being a starter and then a not starter, and how you can get back into that starting role. She has to do a good job here tonight in order to keep it.
Yeah, 23 new players in the league this year. I was talking to Nomaris Velez Augusto, and she said you can see that some of the rookies are still trying to figure it out, still trying to manage how to play. And that doesn't just mean the points. The points are one thing, but it's the rotating around with all the different combinations and figuring out how best to support with and play your best with the teammates that you have for any given week.
And then also the draft on top of it. I mean,
The feelings.
the feels,
The
all
vibes.
the feels and the vibes.
vibey vibes.
I mean, sitting in that draft room, and I've been there. I can talk specifically to this. It can be kind of heartbreaking when you see your friends get picked up and going to different Zoom rooms, and you're sitting there just waiting. It's really tough.
All of a sudden, I have a very sad image of Key sitting by herself staring at the computer a few years ago. Key Michael, Olympian in 2012 and part of the inaugural season of Athletes Unlimited as an athlete, and now sitting alongside me for most of this one.
Yeah.
You're actually here every time.
I enjoy this seat.
Key
more than the
always
Zoom
isn't how
chat.
it's characterized.
Yeah.
That one off the block, another opportunity here for team member Monet. A little bit inside for the captain. She tries to crank it anyway, and Karis Watson is there. 12 points for Watson. I'd like to see member Monet take this one down the line, but it's got to start with her feet. Got to get underneath that ball. She says, my bad on that. I agree.
Yeah, she's usually someone who does a pretty good job of that. She has to, right? As an undersized player, you have to focus on your feet first.
Johnson chipping and inexplicably finding the area between Blossom and Drews. (3-3), our most competitive start. Team member Monet opened up 8-3 in the first and 7-0 in the second. Magic number in this one is 11. If team member Monet scores 11, they win the overall. Little back flipper. Fader delayed. Blossom there on defense. A scoop overhead has the ball going long. Was there a net? The net is bouncing, but I think it might have been the ball earlier in the rally. On court, they're trying to decide whether to issue a challenge or not. Remember, this challenge has to come from the captain, Drews, and she will, in fact, run a challenge. And we can talk to Sydney Hilly while this one takes shape. Sydney, it's been a tough night for you guys so far. Tell us about what's been happening within the team.
Yeah, this set we're really just trying to stay positive. It's been a tough week for us. We went 0-2 coming into this game, and so we wanted to start strong, but Blue's been playing really, really well, and we're trying to just do what we can to change the momentum. We changed setters out there. Gabby's doing great. She's getting us back in this match, and hopefully we can take home 40 points, or, you know, if we finish 25-8, maybe we can take the whole match. Anything's possible, you know?
How do you keep from internalizing the results that have gone on this weekend? You guys have played so many tight, close matches.
Yeah, I think it's just you have to take a step back and have some perspective. This league is really hard. There's so many great athletes, and we just have to go out there every single day and do our best and compete our butts off, and that's all you can do at the end of the day.
Sydney, I'm always talking about how hard it is to be a middle in this league, but talk to me about a setter, because you have to learn the preferences of 43 other players. How can you do that in such a short time?
Yeah, that's one of the fun parts, but also super challenging, because there's like 40 hitters you got to know, especially if you get new middles every week. That can be something that's hard to develop that connection really fast when you only have 2 practices to go and do it. So you just go on the court and hope that it works out, really.
What are your feelings around the draft and how stock goes up, goes down? You're not quite sure how you're going to be valued. How do you deal with that? Is that something that you take to heart?
It's something that's out of your control. So if you spend time worrying about it, it's just wasted energy. So whatever happens, happens, and whatever role you're in, you can just play to the best of your ability and try to help your team win.
All right, we'll maybe see you more in this match, but for sure tomorrow. Thanks.
Sounds good, thanks.
Sydney Hilly from that Wisconsin program. It's been so good over the last few years, again in the national conversation. Backslide Oblak blocked right back onto her own shoulder. The captain with 12 points for that stuff block. Draft will be tomorrow. That's going to be 1 p.m. Eastern. Savannah Collins hosting. I'll be there as well. Who will be in those second 2 captain's chairs? It's going to be Betania De La Cruz and Brittany Abercrombie. We know this. What order? We don't know. That's going to be determined in the next match, our second of 2 on the evening where they match up. However, 6 players for the next 2 spots. We have no idea who those other captains are going to be. Tune in. We'll have the info for you as that concludes the end of our second match of everything but the MVPs. You'll have a real clear picture of what's going on, or clearer maybe.
I know that we can't vote for that, but my vote is for Manami Kojima in that captain's role.
You want to see the libero in that role?
Yes.
All right, very good.
I have to. I must.
Backslide Thader tries to throw it over Lake, does not get it there. But the block gets it again. I don't know who they're going to give that one to. It'll be Thader or Kingdon, who will pick up +12 in the official scores. Savannah Collins, draft host, tell us more.
Yeah, as I'm sitting here looking at this leaderboard and how things are going to shake out after week 3, there's a theme that keeps coming to mind for me. We've talked about it, and it's teams being comfortable. And if there's one group who has been the most comfortable this week, I would say it's Team De La Cruz Mejia. She's mentioned too. She loves to have Natalia Valentin Anderson as her setter. Manami Kojima is kind of just her comfort when it comes to passing and defense. And depending on how things go in this second game, that group could be split up. It would be really exciting to see Manami be a captain, but I know Betty would not like that situation because that's really been someone she's gone to all season. Key, as you're thinking about how week 4 could see some major clusters of players who have been together split up, what do you think maybe the repercussions of that could be when we're talking about, okay, now it's week 5 and there are medals and a championship on the line?
Well, it's a great question, Savannah, because that's exactly what we've seen week after week. Abercrombie, Lecator, and Brittany were all together in week 1, and they had to be split up. And then it's interesting because then you see who starts to choose what pieces get chosen first. So then Betty's starting to choose her libero and her setter, even over her middles, over her pins. She has prioritized those players. So if they're not able to be her first pick, who does she go to instead? I think she has to keep someone like Claire Hoffman, who's been stable for her. Kat Bell was fantastic this weekend. She's got a lot of options.
She saw the value in Claire Hoffman, I think, where maybe everybody else did not, and took her right away, and that has most assuredly paid off for her. Hoffman was again outstanding last night. That ball killed by Handline is having her best match of the year.
Handline's definitely going to get a high value after tonight. She hasn't necessarily been someone that's gone way up in the drafts. She's been picked sort of in the last couple of draft spots.
All right, 8-7 here in our third set. That ball thrown to the corner and down. That'll check us to 8-8. And look at that match score there. 58-43 as it rolls up. Team member Monet getting pretty close to closing this one out in the overall, but this third set, of course, still huge. Those 40 team points. In that championship chase, you can go up or down, and you do go up or down based on your team results and those team wins. Member Monet got it. A questionable first contact, let go. That's how it works nowadays, and I like it. Let the play continue. 9-8. Team Drews is on top. Here we go.
So Brooke Nunneveller was the first draft pick of this weekend. Danny Drews in the purple jersey gets that first draft pick. She's one of my question marks going forward. Will she still be taken so high? Will she be valued so high if she's not able to score for the purple side?
Willow Johnson uncorks a champagne bottle and sends it into the air.
What are we celebrating?
That kill.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'll take it.
That was gnarly, wrapping her arm up over the top of it.
I hate to see mistakes like that when we're talking about a player, Handline, who's creeping up in the draft for sure after being picked 6th for this team. I'm sure she'll go higher than that. But then you see an error like that and you think, will that penalize her?
I don't think so, because she has proven herself to be quite strong from the service line routinely.
All right, Kevin has spoken.
Yeah, I'm taking Handline a lot higher this next week if I'm captain. And I'll tell you, with my knee situation, I'm going to need a lot of help.
Yeah. Anyway, we've got sports medicine here.
Yeah. I was talking about other people getting killed.
Oh,
10. But we have seen that, those draft picks really mattering in the last couple of matches. Looking forward to De La Cruz and Abercrombie. As Temi Thomas-Ilara, her stock continues to rise. She's had herself an outstanding weekend. I think both her and Kayla Handline have had the best weekends.
Yeah, that's a good shout. Kat Bell as well, I think, has had a fantastic
Great point.
performance. I mean, I'd also say someone like Willow, last night in particular, completely went off. A little quieter tonight.
Yeah, I'm looking for people who are rising. People who maybe weren't on the radar coming into week 3, who now are most assuredly on everyone's draft radar.
Oh, nice.
Just under it, Rischel. Lecator chip in line, Drew's reading it. That ball too low. And then a little contact. Ball was already down, so it may not matter. A 2-point lead right now is the largest lead for Team Drews tonight. What was that? Was there a sniper?
I don't think she wasn't even, did she get touched?
That's the Vlade Divac Award. Are we giving that out this week? Was that on the schedule for week 3?
I didn't know we were playing soccer out here. The drama, Marley.
Wow.
Cheeky.
Wow. All right.
Did she get touched? I didn't think so in this. I got to see this again. So she goes up. Oh, maybe a little bit, but the reaction was a little more than the actual touch.
Here, we'll give you this look again, Key here. Maybe a little punch in the hip, a little backside.
Oh, that's great.
That tip through the block is also good, and no one goes down this time. 13-10. Here comes Team Drews.
Is it too little too late?
Well, considering they need one more point for the 60 points, I would say yes in the overall, but it's never too late for a set win. That's the great thing about this format. The set wins play huge.
Also the MVP votes.
Nonaviller can't quite chip it out of bounds. Monet tips, 2 people there. Johnson with the setter right in front. Monet. Oh, Rischel out of the back row. Good night now. 13-11, that'll do it, plus 60 for the women in blue. The only question becomes now, can they pull a clean 180 darts style with the sweep here?
Maddie Kingdon cleaning it up there with a beautiful swing to the corner. Flat, deep, it's her favorite.
Key, I'm not sure,
Tell me.
being that you're British and all.
You're
180
not sure?
is a perfect score for darts. All right.
Oh, is it? Oh, yeah, that went straight over my head.
180! All right.
You have to have a monocle when you say that and a top hat.
Do yourself a favor, go watch some darts highlights.
That doesn't sound like a favor.
The
That
crowds,
sounds like a penalty.
Oh, the crowds are
Torture.
unbelievable. I'm going to send you a video later. It is unbelievable.
The things that are on TV, the sports that are on TV nowadays, like cornhole, sometimes gets a nod. What was the one I sent you recently?
I can't
Horse
remember.
riding. Oh,
All right, Captain's
horse
Challenge. Net called, looking for no net fault here for Team Drews. They use a challenge again here in the second set. That is their second, or third set. That is their second already. Yeah, one of the great things about Britain, the 2012 Olympic Games.
tell me.
There is a net violation there. One of the great things about the 2012 Games at Earl's Court, where volleyball was held, people were dressing up in costume and showing up every day. I think this must be a British thing, because if you watch dart highlights, people are in costume all the time. I don't know why. Everyone else should do it. It was amazing. It's something unique to the 2012 Games and West Kensington.
What were they dressing up as?
Anything.
Interesting.
People with giant wings, people in Power Ranger costumes, whatever.
We just like to have fun.
Yeah.
Ever heard of it?
No. Yeah, positively unbelievable. Darts highlights, people. You never knew you'd get that call out here on a Monday night. You did know that you'd probably hear about our auprosports.com/marketplace, where you can go and engage in a bunch of NIL activities with your favorite AU athlete, and you can do it directly. Go ahead and get on that marketplace. It's a hub for businesses and fans to go direct to the athlete. auprosports.com/marketplace. See how you can support your favorite number, jersey, person today. There is the aforementioned Team Orange. That would be Team Vidania de la Cruz Mejia. It's their month, you know.
It's their month. It's Joe's mustache. It's all of the things. Yes, we are getting close to Halloween.
Yes.
Pumpkin Spice team.
Team Pumpkin Spice Latte about to take the floor next in our second match. Net violation confirmed. You saw it a while back. Backslide, Fader gets it just over. Tough swing for Nunaviller, who has gone full Italian with the plead for a touch. And no more challenges, by the way. Team Drews, no more challenges. You'd have to talk the referees into calling a challenge. We've seen that done before.
She did use her hand signals.
The ball called out, passed anyway. Nunaviller going to try and hit out. Is it in? Yes, it is. The lead remains 4 on that side out. They get to the technical timeout, leading here 15-11. It is never over. Athletes Unlimited Pro Volleyball is sponsored by Nike.
These are my teammates, Kelsey and Becca. How are you guys feeling about the match today?
You know, Kayla, I'm really excited for our match tonight. I think we have a great matchup with purple and blue. Big hitters on both sides, big defenders on both sides. Yes. The crowd's in for a treat.
Amazing. How are you feeling tonight, Becca?
You know, I'm feeling great. Energy's great out here, and I'm just ready to go. And yeah, go Spikers.
Absolutely. Back to you, Steve.
I love how both athletes grab the microphone. One, Kelsey Payne just takes it entirely, and then the other holds it, Becca.
Well, I love that she sent it back to me and not to you.
It's fine.
It's the key show tonight. It should be the Kayla Caffey show because she deserves her own TV show at this point. I mean, I'd love to have her roaming around. Savannah could show her the ropes. We could have 4 of us on the broadcast. What do you think?
Sure, let's do it. Just bring everybody in. We can run a ton of key features and it'll be fun. Everyone will enjoy. Hope you're enjoying our first match of 2. Kevin Barnett alongside the Olympian Key Michael. Savannah Collins on the sidelines, embedded with the teams, getting us the story here as Team Drews has lost the overall, but they have been on a tear as of late, looking for the 40 set points here and not to get swept in their final match of the weekend. It's been a tough one. Second match coming up. Going to be 9:30 Eastern time, 6:30 here where we are for the moment because we remain on West Coast time for the moment in Mesa, Arizona. Nunaviller to serve, her side up 4. Nunaviller with a dig. Drews blocked by Fader. And she just walked off.
She's gone into the distance, into the sunset. That's the way to do it. Stuff and you're gone. Just enough time for a couple of high fives. That's all it takes.
Drews soft tip, Johnson sitting on it. And that ball punched through by Kingdon. That'll have her rising up the leaderboard scoring points as those will drop in.
The timeout did wonders for Lecator's side.
15-13. Remember, that was a technical timeout, so everyone still has their share, their complement of timeouts. Tip thrown back. Oblad covers herself. Ball really tight. Kingdom Ritual's hitting everything. Oblad, big long run. Successful at the end.
Oblad's someone I'd love to see a little more out of. I know that she has it. I know that she can, but she sat those 2 weeks out, and now she's really trying to find any kind of connection with her new setters. Only 2 kills so far tonight.
Yeah, I wonder what impact the Henderson, Nevada native would have. Larger is the answer currently. Nearly hand line with the stuff who was on the pin that time. Block was all mixed up for team member Monet.
Yeah, what was she doing out on the pin? Hang on a sec.
Back slide. If you run a back slide, you get stuck there sometimes.
That makes sense.
Handline reaching high, finding the edge. She is deadly in both phases.
That's exactly what you want out of middle blocker. She can run a slide first. Now she's creating some space in front. She's got Watson following her in that regard, but still able to find angles kind of high and around the block.
Watson backslide into the double block. No, you can't contact it twice in that manner. Not yet, anyway.
Not yet. You think the rules are going to change to allow someone to just let it roll down their body and play it up?
Hey, you never know.
I like that Blossom goes immediately to her middle right after we've just seen Handline get involved.
Blossom in her first extended action here in this set, as well as the conclusion of set number 2. Her side made a run there, and they are leading now as they head towards the waning moments of set 3, hoping to put those 40 team points in their pocket. 19-14. Lake, perfect dig. 20 feet high, 10 feet off her side. The beneficiary 20-14. Do you call a timeout if you're on the other side? Moments ago, you seemed like you were in the set. Now it seems like you're not.
Yeah, there's a lot of back and forth in this set. Just when you think one of the teams is kind of getting a hold on something, it shifts back to the other side. I don't know if it's timeout territory yet.
Handline just is piling up her own points. 9 kills, 5 blocks, couple of positive touches, along with a dig. Kayla Handline, she's hitting 800.
Back to the middle.
Should have, right, Key?
Always.
How about this time?
Yeah, this one.
There you go. Sliced off. But a very aware Payne took it home. How about a block instead? It's worth more points anyway.
I mean, as a setter or as a player, it really is about feeling out your hot hitters, feeling out kind of where the points are coming from. And that's exactly what Marley Monserrat is doing. She's seen some moments where it's pins. Now it is Handline.
Well, I'd say what Handline looks like an NBA Jams player that hit 3 in a row. There's just fire coming up off of her at the moment. Can't give it to her here. Johnson instead takes a huge windup and goes long.
Shout out Monserrat for that dig. From where we're sitting, that angle looked like it was completely down. Monserrat comes out of nowhere to pop it up.
That set was a little bit low. That one a little bit off, chopped down the line, Blossom with the dig. Another block for Handline.
Handline, I asked Kayla Caffey what she had for breakfast when she was having a great blocking streak. She said waffles, eggs. I gotta go get to Kayla Handline and see what she's been eating.
I think we should just get Savannah Collins to interview her right now. Just go right on the court, Savannah.
She's off the court. She's subbed out.
Let's just hear from
Go grab
Hamlet
her.
immediately.
Yep.
At the end of this one. Paige Briggs Romine into serve again. High off the hands. You see what Payne is capable of on that swing. 22-17. Remember that overall already won by team member Monet. And this is why you get a little handle on it, right? They're up 10. There are only 3 more points available. If they go +3 here, if they just run off 3 more, they would still be down 7 in the overall. That's where that magic number comes from, is the minimum number of points you can give up in that third set if you trail coming into it. Fairs drops that one near the back line, causing problems. And she makes the defensive play. 5 points for her. Whew. Tight. Monet pushes it through. Better opportunity here. There's Willow Johnson.
3 back-to-back defensive spectacles. First, the backhand from, I believe it was Aaron Fairs. Then Gabby Blossom doing another one there. Willow having to finish it off, but I'm just loving the scrappiness in the backcourt from both these sides.
Donavilla into the net. That's a hitting error. Team member Monet looking for the win.
I'm looking at Nunneviller's efficiency right now in the attack, 2%. She's only got 10 kills on 42 attempts.
That's a lot of work.
Yeah.
Johnson ace, +12, and her team back within 2. They're looking for 40 team points in rally fashion here in the third. Are they getting out the brooms?
I mean, that's a pretty tough serve from Willow with that left hand. But I need Mary Lake to step in and take that. The libero has to do a bit more work.
She does this time. Oh, that one was all thumbs flipped over the top. Johnson with the dig. Cover. Willow through the block this time. Ball's tight, low, inside. It is hard to get a kill in Mesa. Payne climbing the ladder and putting it on the back line. Huge point to go to 23 and stem the tide.
You called it. Hard to get a kill, but eventually, and again, even from that out-of-system set from Lake, that's a pretty fast-moving ball. High, wide, exactly where Payne likes it.
Little backslide pipe action. Kingdon with some open net, 21. If they can make the same move they just made with a couple of points here, team member Monet is going to be right back in it. And we're looking at perhaps extra time. 22 at the line. How aggressive do you get here, Key?
You got to go for it.
Okay.
Go for it. She's got the green light from herself as the captain.
Got it. That was a nice serve. And the ball is blasted long. No touch. They have no challenges. 63-mile-an-hour bomb from the line has them within 1.
63. That's creeping up there. I think 70 miles an hour is the record set by Melissa Vargas from the Turkish national team. So, whew, Lakator.
She's something special, Melissa Vargas. So is Lakator member Monet. Skipping the tape this time. Backslide, blocked, down, we're tied.
This is exactly what the gold side did to Lekator's team last night. Lekator had pretty much a couple of times in a row had the set, or looked like they had the set in the bag, and got chipped away from behind.
It's now a race to 2, win by 2. Are we going extra time, or are they going to run it out? Bad toss, and it's long. She stood herself up a little too much.
You talked about that early in the broadcast, how that toss can really affect the way that you contact it, and that if it's feeling good, if you get a good toss, you can really get on top of it. But if you find yourself under it or a little behind it, that's when you get the errors.
Got to manage it. Set point here. Bad pass. Kingdon Rischel down the line. That's a winner. We're going to play some extra time. Tied at 24. It's great. They don't call timeouts. We just had the technical here in this third set, so you get extra volleyball for the same amount of time. Bravo you, the volleyball fan. You are winning right now. Plus 40 for everyone watching. Vader. Drews will get it right back off her own pass. It is blocked! And I think that one's going to Montserrat. They've reversed the flow entirely to a set and sweep point. Vader has been tough from the line. Is it an ace that wins it here? Roll shot. Johnson picks it up. Kingdon Rischel. Good night. Comeback complete. Sweep done.
How do you like that? Member Monet's team pulling the switcheroo on Drews. That is exactly what you want out of a team that is looking for some captain spots going into the next week. Plus 40 awarded for every single player, but please give some extra love to Kayla Henline, top scorer for that middle blocker. Here's where Drews went a little soft in that last swing, but you cannot go soft against a team that has Maddie Kingdon Rischel on the other side because she will unleash.
They win the match, they win the set, they win 180 team points. Maddie Kingdon Rischel puts away the last ball for her 14th kill. She ends up hitting 180, called upon to do so much in this match. And Kayla Henline is the headliner. We're going to call her Kayla Headline with 9 kills, 7 blocks. 7. Who do you think you are? Who do you think you are?
Kayla, how about Kayla hand on the line, because she was absolutely closing on so many blocks. Every opportunity that she got that ball, she was doing something with it. That inside arm, and she had a field day on Brooke Nunaviller, who got a lot of inside balls. But I love how she plays, her energy, her style, her enthusiasm. She fit perfectly into this Lecator Member Monet puzzle, which is gonna be split up.
Savannah Collins has the woman whose costume we know for Christmas. She's going to go as Molly McCage.
All right, Kayla, this question's coming right from Key and Kevin. They want to know what got into you today. Was it your breakfast? Did you switch something up? Because you were unstoppable.
Thank you. I think that honestly it was just our team coming out ready to play. We really wanted this win. We really wanted to come together, and every game we've been getting a little bit better, and our connections just are so clean this game. I think we had a few mishaps, but we didn't let it bother us. And honestly, the energy from my team allowed me to do good too, and I have to give it to them because it's all on them.
Yeah, good. 9 kills, 7 blocks, good. I'd say great. What about your AU experience led up to this game where you just had an explosive outing?
I mean, being at AU has just been so much fun. It's been a great experience. There's so much support from everybody. Everybody really wants each person to do well at the core, and I think that makes a huge difference with how you feel stepping onto the court here, because every individual just really wants the best for the person next to them, and it's phenomenal to be a part of it.
Well, this group that you were on this week had incredible chemistry and camaraderie. What was the turning point in that final set to say, hey, we're not comfortable just winning the overall, we want all 3?
Honestly, it was Lek, because she came in during one of those timeouts, gave a great speech. We changed a little bit in our rotation and a little bit in our defense, and Lek came in, gave us a great motivational speech, and crushed it. So I think it just gave us the energy to come out and be like, no, we can do this, and it made all the difference.
Thanks, Kayla. Congrats on a great game. Okay, Lek, I heard about the motivational speech to turn the set around. Can you give me a little taste? Because I've heard you in those huddles, and you fire me up too.
I mean, I just got to pump them up. You know, if I got to hit a little dance move, I'm going to hit a little dance move.
Can you hit a little dance move right now? What we hit for him? Okay. Hey, that'll get you going right there. That says, hey, we're going to sweep these sets.
Absolutely.
For you this week, you said you're always up for a challenge. Going into the week, you told me this was going to be one to be a captain. What challenged you the most?
I think what challenged me the most was just balancing both coaching and playing, but then towards the end I just realized like this game is all about having fun and believing in each other, and like everyone around me is just so good on this team, and so it's really hard to not believe. And once I realized that we were just flowing, we were connecting, we were loving on each other in both the good and the bad moments, I realized that all I really need to do is just focus on getting the ball up on defense, and I made that my focus, and we were just going in transition, so it was really awesome.
Hey, you're still at the top of the leaderboard right now, heading into week 4. If you find yourself with the C on your chest again, anything you do differently or lessons learned?
I would focus on defense in our practices. I think defense is really important to winning games. I think sometimes we get caught up in the extravagance of like hitting hard and hitting around the block, but at the end of the day, defense always wins. You need a defense and you need an offense. So if I were to be captain again, definitely making defense my focus.
Congrats on a great game. Thanks for the great insight into being a captain-elect. Congratulations on the win. Kevin Key, back to you.
Focusing on the good moments, Kingdon Rishel has some good moments to focus on here. Finally rising in that leaderboard. She's been a stats juggernaut, but had trouble getting over the hump. Now a sweep for her, and she's in 4th currently.
That's exactly how important these wins are. We'd love to see her as a captain, but also if Lecter gets another chance, I think that gave us a great insight into who she would be choosing, what she would be prioritizing, a little bit of defense, but as her teammates have said, she was born to be a captain, so I just love her thriving in that role.
Yeah, our next match, I think, is going to determine those spots right there. You have the women in orange, the women in gold, and it's Team Abercrombie and Team Betania de la Cruz Mejia, who are going to take the floor coming up next and try and put some more talent into those captain's chairs. That's what happens if you dance on a weekend. There, we got it right, Key. And you play well, your team gets split up. We will determine our captains to play our final match of the middle weekend. Week 3 coming to a close at 6:30. Key Michael, Savannah Collins, and our entire crew. I'm Kevin Barnett. Thanks for watching. Victory for Team Member Monet, 76-59.